Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
How are you?
Welcome back over to Ireland again. It's funny watching back that because Love Island is on at the minute. We discuss it all the time. But that you were part of a really one of the good seasons. Well, how did you get into it? Like, how did the whole getting picked to go into Love Island work?
Well, for me, I kind of got approached on Instagram, but the process was exactly the same applications. Like, it literally took me about, let's say, 4 months, like, for me to even, like, the whole process, like, checks and psych checks, like, everything, like, they really go through it.
Yeah, it was a long process, but yeah, I just applied, did not think I'd get on it in the slightest, and then somehow kept getting on to the next stage, but I don't know how I got on.
Now, when you say you applied, Andrew, were you looking for love or were you looking for fame?
100% love. Like, I'm 28 now, but like, I was single and I thought, why not? Let's give it a go. I think we all go on thinking we're just going on for, like, just have the best summer of our lives and hopefully we can find love. That is obviously the aim of the game. And luckily I did.
Well, it's still going strong, which is amazing because we just saw recently Davide and Ekin-Su unfortunately broke up as well. But like, how has life been, you know, coming out? Because you were in Dubai, weren't you, Andrew, before that?
I was,
and,
yeah. So
like,
it's completely different. Like, yeah, living in Dubai, doing real estate, and then having to move to London. Well, I didn't have to, but I wanted to, obviously. But yeah, it's just a completely different world now, and it's just, yeah, it's incredible.
And what were the pressures like while you were in the villa and then coming out? Because you went in unknown and then you came out and all these people suddenly knowing you. And this was the big thing about over the years, like people not being able to cope with that. So how were you able to cope with that?
I think just being there for each other and communication is the biggest thing for us too. Like, if we're ever feeling a certain way, we be open and be honest about it. It can be so overwhelming sometimes, like going to all these events, premieres, and having to keep on like this kind of like you're always having to be kind of, you know, up and upbeat kind of. And there'd be days where I'm literally like exhausted. I'm just like, I can't do it like anymore. But we're there for each other, and you know, it's all about supporting each other all the time.
Because speaking of exhaustion, because you, because of your hearing difficulties that you had, and you've been very open about it, you were found it quite difficult in the villa. Can you tell us about that?
I think being in the villa is such an intense environment, and I think, you know, you're in the sun, it's literally like 30 to 40 degrees heat. You're, you know, sleep deprived, you hardly sleep, and you're waking up at lunchtime and you're staying up till 4 a.m. in the morning. And for me, I'm having to lip read all the time and focus on people's lips and voices, and there's so many different sounds I'm also trying to focus on, so I get migraines as well. So that's why every time when the girls are getting ready, we probably have about 2 to 3 hours, I've been napping on the terrace, literally the whole 2 hours. And the producers will let me know, Tash, you've got like 20 minutes, and I literally quickly get ready and go down.
You were inspirational on it, Tash, to be fair, because you put up with a lot of crap on the show, and the two of you went through a real journey as well. So it is amazing to see that, like, you've come through it and that you're both still together, and like it's great, and it's kind of is a nice story coming out of the Love Island villa, that it doesn't always work out. You, of course, you have your own podcast, Superpowers with Tasha, and you've interviewed some really inspirational people on it as well. Why? Because, as Alan said, you have been a real, you've done some incredible things, and the fact that you're highlighting your hearing difficulties.
Yeah. I think for me, even before the show, I had the smallest platform, but I was trying to raise as much awareness as possible. So coming out the show, that's my first priority. Okay, that's not going to change. Like, I'm still going to be doing that. I'm passionate about it. So that's why the podcast, Superpowers with Tasha, it's not just about the deaf community, it's all about the other communities out there. So people that are blind, alopecia, I've had literally Tourette's was coming out this week. And it's just all about normalising conversations and talking about the stereotypes and stigmas and breaking down those boundaries and the stigmas and making it normal, you know. It's about normalising it and celebrating and empowering.
And Andrew, you've featured
been
on it as well.
I did. Yeah.
Because you opened up about a brain tumour you had.
Yeah, so, I mean, luckily it was benign, but at the time, like, I didn't even know what benign even meant. So, yeah, when I was told I had this, I was like, literally like in tears and like, was so scared, but luckily it got sorted out so quickly. But yeah, I feel like it's so good to like open up about it, because I don't think many people do, especially guys. We don't really open up with how we feel and feelings and stuff like that. So I felt like it's something I had to kind of do and get people more aware.